Hey YouTube, welcome back. What is going on? That's the good question. That's the question I think we're all answering. What is going on? What do we really need to be worried about? Not worried, be acting on. What do we really need to be doing? Because it seems like, as we've discussed, everything is just top notch, crazy, at breakneck pace, crazy. Before you turn around, like there's always something like, oh, we saw that coming. Oh, we knew that was going to happen. Oh, look where we are. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Just one thing after the other, and just to scroll down the Drudge page, just like consistent, as we talked about last time, consistently keeping people in that excited state of what should they do? What do I need to be worried about? It's crazy. Um, Hopefully you all are remaining calm and evaluating your situation and continue to do the things right. um, so sifting through the madness to uh, really focus in on the crucial things that are important, right? um, I am going to go and continue to focus on the idea that I kind of tailed off on the end of last live stream, that the governments are working together to suppress the people, and they're just finding ways to leverage each other. And the governments will remain to stay propped up, but the people will continue to suffer. Um, as we talked about just briefly that last time at the very end of that live chat, uh, China and the U.S. cannot go to blows because they're too dependent over each other. But they are supporting each other in the way that they suppress their people. China provides stuff. The USA provides the money for the Chinese to build the things that they use to uh, control their populace. It's a symbiotic relationship, if you will. If you just think about it, it just doesn't. We talked about it many years ago about, or I had the theory. I should say I had the theory that the U.S. military will be kept downrange overseas to avoid helping the populace. Um, we might actually get to the point to where that transitions to the machine army, and they don't need a people army. That's the ultimate goal, right? I just commented on a video earlier, that once they get their machines to do all the work, the elite are going to try to kill everybody off. But also, as I discussed in that live chat, like the people that think they're in charge, once AI takes over and they have the machine army, they won't have control over it, and it'll take them out too. um, they'll think they have a kill switch, or they'll think they'll have something, but they probably won't. That's kind of a separate thought. Then, if it actually gets that far, it will be full on Judgment Day Terminator style, right? Or at least in my mind, it will be. Um, so hopefully you are sifting through the mess and just all the distraction. This one being primary, a number one, continues to be on people's mind for whatever reason. I don't understand it. I think the Dems want to keep him front and center because he does keep the people who are focused on the things that we are, sustainability and being independent. Uh, it keeps too many of those people with that false hope, I would say. So this is a number one distraction. And then there's so many others. Um, there was a interesting event that took place in Virginia, just outside of D.C. I believe it was in Arlington. Some guy blew up his house because the police showed up. All kinds of suspicious circumstances going on. It's I wouldn't say it's necessarily been black holed, but a guy blew up his house with the police there. You'd think it'd be like wall to wall coverage. I don't know that any police were harmed in the event, but let me see if I can get over. Can I do this without messing up? Let's see if we can find it here on the Twitter sphere. If you missed it, talking about Conor McGregor running for president of Ireland. That's going to be interesting. um, there's the Argentina thing with the new president. Let's get down here. Where's it at? Where's it at? It was earlier in the day. There's far too much earthquakes, volcanoes, all that global warming right there, up in smoke, right? Literally up in smoke. Where was that from? It was from this morning. Far too much going on in the Twitter sphere. Somebody's out there barking. Let's go. Oh, here was a good one. Largely military-age Chinese males getting stopped at the border, or at least Asian males. I don't know if you can prove they're Chinese. That country did a video of. He's down there near the border in California. He's lived there for years, right? If you know backcountry preps. And what's his other? He's got a secondary channel too, and I can't remember what the name of it is. But he did a video the other day about a border checkpoint or a border camp where all these illegals were staying as they processed them in, and how it was just down the road from his property. And he describes it. I'll get that link below in the description box of his video so you can check out. And there's this on the Twitter of these males, and it's just like, is it not obvious? Why is this being handled in this fashion? This is part of that. Is this not evidence of the governments colluding together to keep their people suppressed? What are these people doing? It looks like if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's an invasion. There you saw they had the Hispanics separated in a separate group, but this whole row is basically like a platoon-sized element of Chinese military-age males. Wild. People don't want to face it up to it, what it is, for what it is. Here's the video of the house that blew up. Very interesting. Just something he was shooting off a flare gun, and then there's this whole link into the Al Qaeda. Like, what's really going on? It doesn't affect most of us. We don't see this, but it's one of those indicators and warnings. The guy, I guess, is a Chinese American. He's got his heritage, his background's Chinese. They say he died. There was a secondary person posting on social media under the name after the fact. They're like, he's still alive. People are like, no, he's not, yada, yada. Like, very suspicious circumstances. There was a better video on here, too. Yeah, here's the better video. Yeah. There they are coming up. Oh. Straight up turn on every gas appliance and whatever else and blew that place up. Definitely a significant ordinance on that explosion. So if you missed that, there's that. So a lot going on. Why we keep track? I mean, it's on the other side of the country for me. But there's some video of the flares that was being shot off earlier that what got police called. Why they thought they had to bring in the SWAT team for that, I don't know. Um, but all kinds of stuff going on out there, and I hope y'all are tracking and doing the things because you have significant um, economic friction going on, the continued decline of the dollar that they want you to ignore. They started propping this lady up. If you missed that, um, both the Koch brothers, so the corporate bigwigs, the corporate oligarchy, and Jamie Dimon, the banker oligarchy, backed her. I almost think she's a shoe-in. She's the one they're going to install, or they're putting her up there as some type of to take flack for some reason. It's kind of weird because you think that the current admin is focusing on Trump to keep him up there so nobody else legitimate can get in there, and then they prop her up. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is she getting thrown in there when she is just absolutely a disaster? More wars, more debt. Like she's putting out the same thing just on a different face. She's against the first. She's against free speech. She's just terrible, like absolutely terrible. And she's getting propped up. Keep an eye on that. And what does that really mean, other than being a puppet? Um, what part of the populace are they trying to appease with this nomination if she ends up especially getting in, which would just be bizarre. Because it's not like she's ideologically lined with the so-called quote unquote right. She's not, because she's spoken out against First and Second Amendment issues and the more pushing of more war and everything else and more debt on top of that. Like, there's no link. It's like Obama came out of nowhere somewhat, but he was ideologically pure for the communist cause, right? There's nothing that promotes her, that has her promoted, and now she's got the ominous dominus from the corporate and banker America. Like, not a good sign. Um, not a good sign at all. So either she's a sacrificial lamb, and they're just putting money into it to make it look like it's legit and some sort of a process, or they're actually going to install her, and that's just going to be wild. Um, Hope you're tracking your silver and gold. The dollar has came back down to earth with the treasury yields. Oil is continuing to kind of sink down. People aren't using. Venezuela just annexed another part of a country. Speaking of oil, and I almost think we're going to let them do it because um, there's some type of oil suppression going on where people in DC don't want American oil companies being successful in America. They'd rather have foreign producers do it. Like another conspiracy theory. Anyway, stay frosty out there, people. There's so much going on. It looks like we're not too long here, but if you didn't miss, the all-time high in gold was a couple days ago. It was like 2150. Then it retreated and it came down the last 2 days, which is beneficial if you're looking to pick something up. Silver's still in a cheap zone to acquire. So keep doing the things. Keep looking to save your wealth, preserve your wealth in something that will exist after the dollar is gone and they force you onto CBDC, and something you can trade in after the fact. Is the thoughts on there. So I hope you all are doing good, and prep hard, live free.